All right. So, we like to cover the apocalypse whenever we can. This was a story that got a lot of play, but not so much in our space. I thought it's worth going over, so that we can see the apocalypse coming from every angle. So, OpenAI researchers warned board of AI breakthrough ahead of CEO ouster. So, you might have heard about this. Sam Altman got fired and then very quickly rehired. That in and of itself was bizarre, but then as the details started to come out, it only got stranger. Ahead of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's 4 days in exile, several staff researchers wrote a letter to the board of directors warning of a powerful artificial intelligence discovery that they said could threaten humanity. Two people familiar with the matter told Reuters. The previously unreported letter and AI algorithm were key developments before the board's ouster of Altman, the poster child of generative AI, the two sources said. Prior to his triumphant return late Tuesday, more than 700 employees had threatened to quit and join backer Microsoft in solidarity with their fired leader. The sources cited the letter as one factor among a longer list of grievances by the board leading to Altman's firing, among which were concerns over commercializing advances before understanding the consequences.
The CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
After being contacted by Reuters, OpenAI, which declined to comment, acknowledged in an internal message to staffers a project called Q. Given vast computing resources, the new model was able to solve certain mathematical problems, the person said, on condition of anonymity because the individual was not authorized to speak on behalf of the company. Though only performing math on the level of grade school students, acing such tests made researchers very optimistic about Q's future success, the source said.
Apparently, not to cut you off, they actually do pronounce that Q star. They just don't spell out the star. Q star,
right.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right. I'm thinking of the Star Trek character.
Yeah.
Researchers consider math to be a frontier of generative AI development. Currently, generative AI is good at writing and language translation by statistically predicting the next word, and answers to the same question can vary widely. But conquering the ability to do math where there is only one right answer implies AI would have greater reasoning capabilities resembling human intelligence. This could be applied to novel scientific research, for instance, AI researchers believe. Unlike a calculator that can solve a limited number of operations, AGI can generalize, learn, and comprehend. In their letter to the board, researchers flagged AI's prowess and potential danger, the sources said, without specifying the exact safety concerns noted in the letter. There has long been discussion among computer scientists about the danger posed by highly intelligent machines. For instance, if they might decide that the destruction of humanity was in their interest.
Yeah, I'd say that's a concern. I'd say that's valid.
That is a concern. I mean, I feel that way at least 3 times a day.
Exactly. I feel that way, and I'm not a genius.
Exactly. If I were an artificial intelligence,
right?
Sure. It would just be obvious. In addition to announcing a slew of new tools in a demonstration this month, Altman last week teased at a summit of world leaders in San Francisco that he believed major advances were in sight. Famous last words. Quote, 4 times now in the history of OpenAI, the most recent time was just in the last couple weeks, I've gotten to be in the room when we sort of pushed the veil of ignorance back and the frontier of discovery forward, and getting to do that is the professional honor of a lifetime, he said at the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. A day later, the board fired Altman.
Sir, we've created an army of ironic Jews with a morose sense of humor, and we don't really trust them. We think we may have overstepped. Imagine an AI army like us.
Send them to Hollywood. No one will
There'd be no
notice.
containing us. Right.
Yeah. Give them jobs as staff writers.
Yeah. Yeah, but this would have been like, I mean, you were telling me offline. I mean, this made major news in like tech circles because this would have been like, firing Bill Gates in the 90s, or, Apple firing Tim Cook, like your brainchild here, like your star player, you're sidelining. not because they're bad at their job, but perhaps because they're too good.
Too good at their job.
Right.
Yeah, no, he ushered in ChatGPT, but the difference with ChatGPT is it's doing a magic trick. It's just been programmed with all of these different possibilities, and what looks like intelligence is really just it predicting what the most likely next word is, just like your autocorrect does. Right? It's a very advanced form of autocorrect. What they're describing here is the beginning of intelligence. It's the beginning of thought.
Right. So it's a difference between responding to a very specific, if vast, set of inputs and creating your own inputs. Right. Formulating your own patterns and reasoning. Right. Exactly.
It's the beginning of reasoning, and that's why it scared the living shit out of them, to the point that they fired this guy out of fear that he's going to Dr. Frankenstein this and just do something without permission and without asking anybody, that ends up ending the world. So, legitimate concern. You could see why the board might have reacted strongly to that possibility. But yeah, look, a lot of smart people have been raising the alarm about the dangers of AI. It can very easily get out of control, particularly if it's plugged into the internet. And as we know just from, look, the computer I'm on right now, I'm replacing it tomorrow because I got it 3 years ago. I can't handle the editing software anymore. We can see how quickly the technology is moving. So where is this AI that all of a sudden dropped into our lives a few months ago, where I was able to say, give me Nixon and Kissinger in the Oval Office in the style of Peter Max for a bit that we did, and it spit it right out, and it was actually pretty good.
It was great.
Yeah. Where's that going to be in a few years? So yeah, it's a valid concern, and it's the kind of thing. It reminds me of that line in Sunscreen. There's no point to worrying because the things that are really going to affect your life are the things that never crossed your mind. It's the things that blindside you on an idle Tuesday, right? This is the kind of thing, like we're talking about climate change. We're talking about the Middle East. We're talking about that. Nobody's talking about Skynet, turning us into their human batteries or some shit.
Right, because this is a problem that sort of crept up on a lot of people all at once, and it's still beyond the understanding of most people. It's beyond my understanding, to be honest. I mean, I can follow a story like this, but am I really capable of digging into the weeds on this? No, and most people aren't, and so that's what makes it even scarier. It's the kind of thing that we don't really know about until it's too late. That's why a pandemic is a scary thing, because who the hell studies that shit until it's too late, until you have to take certain people's word for it. Yeah, don't worry, we'll handle this. Just like AI, right? Who the hell knows? Right.
When people that smart are that scared that they fire the leading star in the business, I thought it was worth noting.
Please clap.